Well, hello there, my friends. How are you today? I am so excited about this gift card holder. I made a little mistake last night while I was cutting the paper, and I'll talk about that later, but I think I've got it solved. So I think we're all going to be good with that. But first, I am wearing a sweatshirt today. Do you remember that last week I told you we tied the record from 1955 on the high temperature, high 80s up here? Well, it's 60 degrees this morning. Well, actually, at 12:30 it was 60 degrees. I'm sure it's about that now. It can't be much warmer. I'm going to show you that. I took a screenshot of it because I couldn't quite believe it. Yes, it's cloudy. There's a couple of sun breaks, so that's nice. So it says it's supposed to be at 2 o'clock right now, 62 degrees. Not going to get very warm today. Hi, Lori from Birch Bay. Is it overcast and cold at your place too? It was just such a change in temperature that I put my sweatshirt on. I just thought, oh well, that's life. But I needed the sweatshirt because, I really was cold. So, you're doing okay? I am drinking a nice cup of hot tea, my little mug. Some kind of summer desert flower, I believe. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So here's the other side. Anyway, sunny and 63. Well, it would be nice if it was sunny here. We did have a moment of sun, but then it hid back behind the clouds. Hi, Gladys. Good to see you. How are you today, and what's your temperature like? Since I'm so cold, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I think this afternoon, though, I'm going to go out and do some mowing. Well, hi, Kat. So good to see you from Missouri. How is your weather? Oh, Gladys. Partly sunny and 72 degrees. Nice. 72 degrees would be good. I would not be wearing a sweatshirt at 72 degrees. But at 60 degrees, after it has been hot, yep. Oh, working on 32 ounces of iced coffee, Kat. Yum. No iced coffee here at my house. Hot tea, though. And I do have some ice water on my desk when the tea is gone. But my goodness, what's been going on this week? Not a huge amount. I will say for some, 77. Wow, Kat. That would be nice. I'm a little jealous. Hi, Hillary. Good to see you. Chilly your house too? Yeah. Hillary only lives about, 30 minutes drive south of here. And I think Lori lives, 15 minutes, 20 minutes north of me? Anyway, not a lot going on here. Harley's been good. Oh, Harley went and got groomed. Harley smells good. And his fur is all clean and soft. But we did find out that under all of that fur, he had a bit of hot spots. So I'm keeping an eye on it. I think I changed his food. My friend Kathy's German Shepherd passed away, and so she gave me her Avoderm dog food, and so I switched him because I've used that before. It's just he hasn't eaten it. So I think it's a food allergy that's kind of come over time that I've been feeding him. So I went back to his regular food. So I'll see if that helps. Otherwise, we get to take another trip out to the vet, which means we get to stop at one of my very favorite coffee shops called Extreme Bean. It's out that way, and they have the best pup cup ever. I mean, granted, I have to pay for it, but it's a full-size cup with whipped cream and a cute little dog biscuit for Harley on top of it. So a trip out to the vet isn't so bad. And I do have insurance on him, and so I think the reimbursement's 90%, and I've met my deductible for the year. So I wouldn't be out a huge amount of money. And I'd get to go to my favorite coffee shop. Oh well. Silly me. Anything else going on? I don't think so. It's been a really quiet week. I will say that for some reason, my knee has stopped hurting this week. I put the cane away and I haven't needed it for 3 or 4 days. So whatever I did to my knee, hopefully it's healed. And it wasn't just arthritis setting in and acting up. But other than that, Oh, Kat, yes, you need a place that serves pup cups. Well, Starbucks does pup cups if you have Starbucks. They're a little small. Oh, I had a bad Starbucks experience this week. Um, when I took Harley out on Monday to get groomed, I picked him up and I knew I wanted to get him a pup cup. So we stopped by a Starbucks and they charged me for egg bites. I wondered why it was so much, but I used my reward points. I didn't order egg bites and I didn't get egg bites. So I don't know, I suppose I should have gone back. But we were practically home and Harley and I were ready to be home. So we'll just count that one as pay more attention, Nancy, to what you're doing. All right, let's go down. Oh, before we go down to the table, let me just remind you about the 50% off sale, the sweet, sweet sale. It's, remember, it's 50% off the lowest price item. It's either a sweet or from a sweet. So if you order 2 sweets and nothing else, you would get 1 sweet at full price and 1 sweet at half price, which is great. But if you ordered 1 sweet and a 2nd sweet and paper from a 3rd sweet, you would pay full price for the 2 sweets and half price for the paper. Not a good deal. So even though you have to pay more shipping maybe, it's better to split up your orders. Oh, Kaya got groomed yesterday. Yes. Well, I came home and it just seemed like he was done so quickly that I think it was an hour and a half and I went back and picked him up, which was amazing. I even questioned them to make sure they really did cleaned his ears and did his nails and all of the other good stuff and not just a bath and blow dry. But that's where they told me that his hair on his back was kind of just falling out and that it looked red and a little bumpy. So we talked food allergy. My friend Melissa owns the Happy Pooch. It's about it's a half-hour drive, half hour to 40 minutes from here. She does a good job, and she was there, and so we talked about, she's not just a groomer, but she also owns the store. She breeds dogs, and she shows and does very well when she's showing her dogs, both in conformation and obedience and all of that. So I do trust her suggestions, and she's the one who suggested it could be a food allergy, or because he's older, he could be developing thyroid problems. So I said, well, I'll change the food first, see if that's going to help, and then if not, then we'll go out to the vets and see if get him tested for his thyroid. Yeah, poor Harley. It's not easy getting old, even for dogs. Let's see. Okay, enough about the sweet sale. Let's go down to the table because here's the fun part. This is, let's see if I can do, I need to make a little change. Okay. It's going to maybe look blank for a minute while there we are. I put me in the corner and I'm going to move me over to the far corner and make it a little smaller. There we are, ready to go. So, what have I got on my desk? Well, I didn't think, I'm a little crooked. Let's see. Nope, that's straight. This is crooked. Sorry, you're just moving around there. Anyway, I didn't think I'd have time to figure this out because I set up my event. Oh, if you're on YouTube, you probably saw there are 2 events scheduled at the same time. One of them, the first one, is I forgot that I changed my Facebook password because it looked like there was a strange login. So I changed the password right away, or someone trying to log in. I do have a lot of security, the 2-factor authentication and all of that. So everything was fine. But I forgot I changed it, which is a little embarrassing. Anyway, so I got it all set up and realized that it wasn't going to stream to Facebook. So I went in and I couldn't actually cancel the first one I set up, but I was able to set up the second one and get Facebook added. So I didn't know I'd have time for this, but I have card kits all done from last week. That sympathy card that we did with the beautiful gallery paper. So Lori Hart, I know that looks like a V, but it really is an R. Heidi Keeney, Diane Newman, and Cindy Walker are all going to get, when I'm done with the live, I'll get that all addressed and ready to send. And I've already got the card kits done for our card today, which is the Notes and Totes Summer Fun gift card. I like this gift card pattern or technique or whatever it is. But it is fun to make. I made one mistake when I was cutting all of the paper. And that is on this crumb cake piece. That's our gift card holder. Instead of cutting it 10 3/4 so that there was an inch to roll up, to fold up at the end, I cut it at 9 3/4. Hi, Gladys. Anyway, that was my fault. We're gonna make it work. And I've cut another piece of the designer series paper, which is from Sips and Cheers, and we will do it. So I'm going to tell you that when you're using this set, your best friend are the multi-purpose adhesive sheets. There's a lot of little things, and I have got adhesive sheets on all the items I cut for you. Well, all the items that needed it. Anyway, so this is just wonderful. I'm so glad that I remember I own them. It's always a surprise when I remember I own them, but I like it. Here's our Notes and Totes. I've got everything die cut already, but I'm going to pull a couple things out because I wanted to show you. I'm going to pull out the tote because we're not using the whole tote. We're just making a bag out of it. But I wanted to show you how I do that to make it easier on me. These three pieces are these three pieces I used. I used the fence, I used the sunglasses, and there's some questions about what this is. One demonstrator called it a lotion bottle, and another one called it a cup. I used it as a cup on this card. Some decorations. This is a lotion bottle, so I didn't think we needed 2 lotion bottles, right? And then several stamps. And here's what I do. I keep a little plastic bag, one of those plastic envelopes with odds and ends. And I pulled all the sunglass pieces out of this. So some of you will have sunglasses that are black, like this one, and some will be a black outline with pink. And of course, you're going to want your Ring of Stella, because what would a sunglass be without a little sparkle on it? So the Ring of Stella is important. So here we go. This is scored at 3.5, 3.25, and 6.5. To be honest, I scored it at 3.25, and then I turned it around and did it at 3.25 again, because that was easy. It's going to fold up like this. So it's not totally, it's scored. It's not totally folded in your envelope, because it wouldn't fit in if I didn't do a little folding, one of the folds. So there we go. You will find an envelope with lots of bits and pieces in it. I thought it would be easier than just putting them loose in the envelope. This is Strawberry Slush. I don't know why, but I was in a Flirty Flamingo mood. So I have the Flirty Flamingo mood base. And we're just going to start off by getting a piece off of my desk. You know, I really like this piece of designer series paper. Oh, thank you, Hillary. Yes, it seemed to be so much easier just to have it confined. So I'm just going to use a little Tombow liquid glue. all those little pieces, if you're trying to liquid glue them in place, it really is messy. So don't forget your adhesive sheets. And if you don't have them, put them on your next order. This one is actually going to go, where is this one going? I know what this one's doing. This is why I cut this cute little piece. Is I'm going to glue it on to our, see, I cut it at 4 1/4 by about 1 1/4 inches. And I'm just going to take, come to think of it, I did not cut the little pull out of here for you. So I'm going to just look at this and pretend that I can figure out by eyesight where the middle is. That's close. And just cut a little tiny bit out so that when you put your gift card in or money, you will be able to pull it out. And so this is where we're going to use the liquid glue because we do want it to stick, but I'm putting it as close to the edge as I can along the bottom and the top, or the sides rather, leaving the top free because you do have to put the gift card in. And let's bring in a silicone sheet because that would be so much smarter than trying to do all this on top of my cardstock and stuff. We'll just take this and line it up right at the bottom. And so my mistake is a pretty addition of pulling this off, knowing that liquid glue stays tacky and we can put it on later. We are going to actually take this 3 by 4 inch sheet of white and stamp on it. And I thought I would use Strawberry Slush ink today. We're going to do a little bit more stamping, but since I'm putting things together, I think I better do this. So here's our stamp. Newsflash, you're fabulous. So we're going to put that right here at the top and about the middle. And then we're going to take this cute flower, I believe it is a hibiscus, and we're going to put one in this corner. And you could change the color if you wanted to. You could do a second generation inking if you didn't want them to look the same. Or you could do Flirty Flamingo. I just thought I would do this. So there we are. The silicone mat will also give you a little bit of a cushion for the photopolymer stamps. So, because we didn't want to forget that. That's important. Let me just put a little bit of seal. My audio's cutting out? Oh, I'm sorry. Is this better? Do I need to look up? And then we'll put this down. And now we've got someplace where we can write a little message. Now, here is there's our gift card holder part. Let's just put that in. I should have grabbed a gift card holder. And this will dry really nice. Another thing we can do right now, before we start with all the fussy little stuff, we will take and we'll put on our piece that goes, where does this piece go? It goes here. Went off your iPad and your iPhone. Oh, it's now cutting out now? Oh, good. And we're just going to put this here. And we need something across it. So I cut us a piece of white. And the other set I brought in was Blooming Phrases. It's thinner. It's just going to go here. Oh, that's not great. Very straight. See if we can. I learned that if you kind of puff on your glued on piece before it gets really set, it comes off a little easier. And this may not be perfect, but see if I can get this off and move it over. I wasn't glued on anyway, it was sealed. A little more on, just to make sure. And now we'll actually move it over. See if I can get it in the proper spot. Here we are. Blooming Phrases, I just chose Hello There, but they've got lots of phrases. Blooming Phrases is a cool set because if you wanted to, you could pretend that's a stem and put any of these flowers on it. There's thinking of you just because. You've got happy anniversary, hello there, celebrate, happy birthday, and thanks. So I just think I love curly cues, and that little wavy line just makes me happy. Back to the strawberry slush ink. And because it needs something there on the end, don't you think? I have something for you. The sunglasses are really cool because they cut out the frame, but as it cuts out the frame, it also cuts out the little hearts. And so I saved all those little hearts. And somewhere in here, there is one. Let's see what we find. This is really important. This is going to be our bag, and we're going to stamp on it, but I also wanted to show you how I cut it without having to do a lot of cutting away of cardstock. That's a good way to put it, Hillary, that it is elegant. Casual, it's just fun. Okay, let's dump all my stuff out. There are little bits and pieces. The littlest piece is the little lock that you can put on this part of your latch for the bag, but I have not used that. I thought I'd try it today and see what it looks like. So here's our heart. These glasses are going to be pink, so you'll see what I'm talking about. I think I'll just use a glue dot instead of doing, oh, I don't have to do that. Okay, I just need my take your pick tool because I do have adhesive sheet on this. So let's just take it and put the heart right here. And grab our Wink of Stella, because let's face it, hearts should sparkle. So should flowers. Don't you think? We need to apply the flower rule. The flowers should sparkle. I didn't think about this on my previous card, my sample card. I guess the leaves should sparkle too. I love hibiscus. I have at least a 30-year-old, might even be 35 years old, hibiscus tree. It has unfortunately not bloomed in a long time, but it's big and it's got lovely leaves. I like my hibiscus tree. And may I say that it takes up a tremendous amount of room. Cat, I love sparkle. I don't wear a lot of jewelry, other than my studs and my ears, but once in a while I'll put some on. But that's why my nails sparkle, because you have to have sparkle somewhere. All right. We have got this quite well under control. And now you see all the fiddly little stuff. But it's kind of fun to build your front. I enjoy it. So the first thing to go on will be the fence. And I'm not sure, oh, I know why I have two fences, because I cut this in half. You know, I've been complaining about how my scissors get dull and just all totally, well, let's actually measure it. Let's actually cut it in half. It's about 4 1/4, so 2 1/8. I was at the right spot. It just didn't look very even. 2 1/8. Here we go. So we've got the 2 rails, and we've got 3 fence posts. And you know how when you go to the beach and there's a fence that's old and it's been around a while? It doesn't always look straight, so don't stress about this. Crooked is good in this case. Let's see. I need to get my... Now I know I put that on last night. Did I get a spot that didn't have it? I must have. That's so weird. Of course, you really don't have to have the adhesive strips on this, because this is not that bad. And they're going to be cut off a little bit. So, but adhesive strips would have been nice. I'm going to cut this off. I'm just going to build it this way and then cut it off at the bottom. So let's use these cut actual holes. You can see they kind of move. So I'm not going to use liquid glue because that would be messy. So I'm just going to use my seal. Make sure there's nothing hanging over. And put it on. Anyway, back to I've been complaining about my scissors being sticky and just a pain to work with. And even after I cleaned them, they're not good for very long because I keep cutting through sticky stuff. Especially with these cards because of all of the adhesive strips. So what I did was I dedicated a pair of scissors for stickiness. And I'm very happy about that. Okay, this one is pretty straight. That one is not. This one is not going to be straight either. So let me give this just a little... I put it on the wrong side. Well, this one is mostly hidden. So we're going to let this one be hidden and look funny. This is a very weathered board. Okay. So I'm going to grab my sticky scissors for these pieces. Even though I've cleaned them, the mechanism is a little stiff. Maybe I need to WD-40 them. Okay. Now this one is going to take a little bit of making sure that any adhesive is kind of rolled over onto the back. I'll do this one. And then actually should have rubbed these a little bit with crumb cake so they looked a little dirty, huh? We'll put that one there. Okay, so we've got fence posts. And now let's talk about the bag, because that's what's going down next. This is a tote. This makes a full-size tote with sides that fold in and all of this over here. But I didn't want to waste that much paper, so I cut a strip of paper of the Designer Series paper. Looks like I've got a little, oh, I don't want that one. Got a little fuzzies here. And I think I cut it at 2 1/8. Let's double check. Here's a cutting edge, and here's a cutting edge. So yes, it's a little over 2 1/8. And I fit the top of it in here. It's longer. The sheet of paper was definitely longer. And I put it in here and slid it up so that the stitched cutting edge would cut through the paper and fit the other sheet in like this, in between the two sides. So I didn't have to do a lot of wasteful cutting. I think I cut the first one at 2 1/4 inches, and so I did have to cut a little off each side. But after that, I got smarter. So our purse is just, not purse, tote, come back here, is just going to sit like this, but that would be so plain, and we don't want plain. So in the stamp set, I'm just going to use my mat. There's this really nice long stamp. That would be this one right here. I thought we'll just decorate it. And I'm sticking with Strawberry Slush today. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to put flowers on this side. And flowers on this side. And really, it's not going to come clear to the bottom, so I'm just going to move this up because we have straps to go on it. And I have kind of a bare spot right in here. And we don't need bare spots. So come on, turn, turn. See if I can get this right there. And maybe just a little bit here. Now I've made a mess. And the one thing about silicone mats, if you get ink on them, you can be sure you're going to be wearing it. Thank you, Kat. Oh, you love jewelry and nails. Let's see. So here we are. The top with the stitching is here. I am going to put this on right now. No, I'm not. We are going to take our cup, which could be a lotion. It could be. And I think I did a lotion on one card. And we're going to make it prettier by stamping our flower, our hibiscus, in Strawberry Slush and putting it right on our card. Stock right there. There we go. Our cup is pretty. And then I think, because I'm going to stamp something off, I'm going to get the regular, very messy mat right here. And let's see, here is our official lotion bottle. And I think we're going to use another color, so I'll be right back. Let's see, Flirty Flamingo. Where are you hiding? Found. Let's do the sun in Flirty Flamingo. And we're not doing the whole sun. I think my Flirty Flamingo is a little dry. I think it definitely needs some re-inking. That doesn't look too bad. Let's just do maybe half of it. So there we have our sun. And then that same stamp that we used for our greeting, did a little ink blending the other day and really made a mess on this. I don't want the news flash, so I am going to take a, boy, according to my, Lori, are you still having trouble with oh no, you're okay with the audio. I'm taking a piece of tape. I'm going to cover up Newsflash. And I'm going to cover up You Are. Or your. There we are. So I only have the word fabulous. That's my goal. That's all I want. And then I'm going to put it in my, that looks good, my strawberry slush ink, and then I'm going to take these off because I really, really don't want that smeared on my bottle of lotion. Let's see. Here's fabulous. I'm going to put that right here towards the edge. And now our white water bottle is not plain and ordinary. It's special. And I'm closing this up. That's the last of the stamping. I'm pretty sure. So let's bring back our gift card holder, find our stitching, and put our bag on. And I'm just going to use a little liquid glue on that, because it's going to hang over the fence. We've just thrown it down. We're so happy to be at the beach. And we've thrown it down. So there we are. And now we've got these lovely parts. We've got the part that goes on the bottom, which is obviously too long. So I want to take and cut the edge off. By seeing where it meets right here, that is where we should be able to cut. This is going on after we do the straps. And so this is this is fun. But you take off your adhesive sheet cover. And then I'm going to get my silicone mat and bring it back in. So what do you think about this set so far? Oh, really? Like the one you bought at Bath and Body Works? Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Hillary. I hate wasting cardstock. Now, I know I have a lot of cardstock, but truly, I don't like to waste. Besides, sometimes you don't, I mean, you can use your scraps for little things like 2 1/8 inch. Now, this is going to have to hang down from the ends of your handle. So you're going to want to keep my nails stick to that, the adhesive, but you want to keep your handle straight if you can, but all your adhesive is up. There, I got stuck again. And it's okay if it's not quite perfect, because you can do some adjusting as you put this on. The adhesive strips give you a little bit of time to adjust. So I can make that a little straighter. Okay, let's bring this over. Let's see. I think I'll leave it folded. The top is going to hang over. And here we are. That's there. This is here. I'm just going to try and make the line straight on one side first and then get the other side. And it's basically centered. Maybe not perfectly centered, but it's basically centered. Let's see, let's move this over just a little bit. Like that. So, there's our handle. Now this is sticky. It's not going to be touching anything, but it might go through a machine. I'm sorry, I was off camera. This is sticky. And so what I do to de-stickify it is I just take my embossing buddy, and just tap it on. Get a little of that powder on there. There's no stick left. So even if it goes through the postal machine, let's see. Why am I working so far away? I don't know. If it goes through the postal machine and this gets tapped down, it's not going to stick to anything. A very good thing. And now we'll put the bottom of it on, and our tote will be ready to go. And it's also got, you see it's got the stitching right here along the edge. So that goes at the bottom. They've kind of a matched, well, I think it goes at the bottom. You could put it at the top if you wanted. This is, after all, going to be your card, not mine. Let's do the sunglasses. So both pieces have adhesive strip on them. Oh, where's my wing of Stella? Well, I know I just used it. So it's got to be here. There it is. Let's give these a little coat of Wink of Stella, because it's easier to do it before we put things together. As you know, I normally do it after I put things together. But that's just me. So there we go. Nice and sparkly. I'm going to take off the backing. And this is where I am so happy I remembered the adhesive sheets. Because yes, you could do the puddle of Tombow in the corner and use your silicone brush that you've cut down to fit better. Let's see. I'm going to use that edge there. See if it'll stick right here. And standing up so that I can see, kind of see what I'm doing. Because I'd like to have them aligned if I could. The one thing that bothers me about the set, and it might not bother you, but it's got the little centerpieces for the sunglasses don't match. So it looks like there's two little centerpieces, so I'm not sure about that. Not wanting to move. Here we are. Well, that's not quite good enough. It's pretty good, it's just not quite good enough. Let's see if I can get that down like that. Okay. Let's try again. Let's try with the tweezers, because that is really what they're for. I think when I put them on last night, that's what I used. I see the moment when I get it, and then I move. As I said, this is just a little fiddly. Get that pulled out. Stuck to my tweezers. That is weird. There we are. See if we can get you pulled over just a little bit. There. That's going to have to be it. So we've got our sunglasses, which also have adhesive backing. Okay, back in the chair. Let's come over. I think I'll put these on after I put on the cup. I didn't bother with adhesive backing on this because there's plenty of room to put the glue on. Oh, hi Cindy, good to see you. This is the funnest set. I suppose it would be better if I said most fun set. It is a fussy little card, but and I normally don't like fussy little cards. And I'm gonna let this hang off a little bit. We've got enough room for that. So there's the cup. Here are our sunglasses, which are gonna look like they're, I don't know, I like the sunglasses up here so that it looks like it's hooked on. So let's do that. Let's move this up and put that right there. And then I've got my starfish, which is so cute. I think starfish are pretty cool. And I'm just going to use, I'm not going to use a glue dot. I am going to use one of these cute little dimensionals. I made a turtle card yesterday. Well, I remade it because I had made it in landscape and the tutorial needed it in portrait. And so I remade it last night, so I'll have to show that to you in a minute. And we're just going to put this down here. We need our cute little bottle. And really, we're going to be using dimensionals now for the rest that's going down. Oh, I still need to find the little lock that goes up there, but now that I've covered it up, I don't need it. That's my thoughts. I was going to put the little clasp and lock, but it would pretty much be covered over. So I'm skipping that. So if you want to skip that on your card, if you get it, feel free. Now I have a question for you. So I give away 4 cards. If anybody wanted to buy would anyone be interested in buying a card kit? I could figure out the price and send it in the mail after we have decided who is this one, who has, sorry, I can't think and craft at the same time. So I'm going to put a nice big one. This shell kit doesn't keep the shells together. So I think it needs dimensionals because I don't think shells just fall apart in spirals like that. So I want it solid. What do you think? Could it use a little sparkle? It is a fun set. I mean, I love the cards I've made with it, and I've made several. And as long as I use adhesive sheets, I'm pretty happy. If I don't use adhesive sheets, I am not happy at all. All right. Let's see if I can, look, I got it off. And I'm making a mess instead of putting these in the garbage, so I'm going to be sorry because there'll be little tiny backings all over. Cindy, I think we all love sparkle who are on here. Sparkle is good. And I'll put this right here. And it's time to put our gift card holder. That fun. I don't know why I used Flirty Flamingo instead of Strawberry Slush. I honestly don't know. I guess I was in a Flirty Flamingo mood, which is very unusual for me because it's not my favorite color. There are others I like better. And because this card is going to get some use putting in that and out that gift card, just want to make sure it's down good. So I'm using my glue. Oh, let's see, there's a back right there. We could have glued this on and had backs on it, little dimensional backings. So here we are. And it pulls up, and we're like this. I was a little short of designer series paper. So you're not going to get a piece for the back for your envelope. I'm sorry. Let's see, where are my? Here they are. I found them. I do like some bling. Bling is good. Okay, here we go. I wanted to use the darker pink on the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. And so I put some smaller ones in your envelopes too in the kits because I ran out of the big ones. And I can't count, obviously, because I cut off 4 instead of 3. And I think I'm going to put this, oh, there's so many places to put it. I think I'm going to put it here. Right in there. And there's our card. It is done. I hope you liked it. Okay, there we are. If you could be ever so kind to give me a like on Facebook and YouTube, that would be really helpful. And if you feel like sharing it, that would also be great because that would make the algorithm really happy. So we've got our, let's see, hopefully, oh, I didn't put the top back on my Wink of Stella. I don't want that to dry out. Yeah, here we are. We can get our gift card in here. Plenty of room. And wouldn't you like to get a card like this? a fun card. It would make me feel so good. Anyway, I hope you liked it. If anyone you know is looking for a demonstrator or wants to become a demonstrator on a team that is hopefully growing just a little bit, I'd love to be recommended. And I want to thank you for coming because it means so much to have my friends watch and chat with me while we're doing a card. Now remember next week, I wanted to show you. What did I do? Okay, where did Totally Awesome go? Starts with a T. So this is how I store all my samples that I make or that I've gotten in swaps. There's Thankful Garden, and there's a lot of those. Thoughtful Wishes, lots of those. Totally Awesome. There we are. That is in the wrong place. So I had it last night. That's Unbounded Beauty. Oh, what did I do with it? Have you seen the shirt I made with Totally Awesome? I love that it's made. Not entirely thrilled making it. That one was too fiddly and too many measurements for me and trying to figure it out. But it turned out cute. I don't know where the two Totally Awesome cards went. I stuffed them somewhere. And wherever they're stuffed, they are perfectly safe. So I will find them and I will, well, let me try one more thing. I'm feeling bad about not having them. Because I know I stuffed them in here. And I also know they're not in plastic. They're not in any plastic sleeves. At least I took a picture of them. I wonder if I can add a picture, add an asset, so a photo, and I can show you the one I came up with last night. Oh, there it is. So we're going to do it with picture instead of the actual card because I can't find it. Okay. There we are. Isn't the little banjo playing turtle cute? I had fun with that. That's just a little card that lifts up for the sentiment, but I put it on a full card. And so there's a whole lot of room to write on the inside. And see all of those little strings? I drew those on because the banjo doesn't come with strings. And I looked up, no, I had Siri look up how many strings a banjo has, and it has 5. So I put 5 on this one. My other one had 4 because I just guessed. Anyway, I hope you liked that. I hope you liked today's card. And this one just may show up on one of the Facebook Lives. But next week, cheer and sips and cheer and sips. That's what it is. We're going to use